Hey y'all, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about the reading in 2 Kings. I don't know about y'all, but the first time I read it, maybe the second time I read it, I still was having a hard time making connection to what Priscilla was talking about. And after typing out today's post, I really just feel led to kind of go over it with a video in case some of you need it. And again, I still may be wrong, so remember, I'm trying to do the best I can to understand. And if there's something else that you've learned through it, please share. But 2 Kings 1-7 says, the company of the prophets said to Elijah, look, the place where we met with you is too small for us. Let us go to the Jordan where each of us can get a pole and let us build a place there for us to live. And he said, go. Then one of them said, won't you please come with your servants? I will, Elisha replied, and he went with them. They went to the Jordan and began to cut down trees. As one of them was cutting down a tree, the iron axe head fell into the water. Oh, my Lord, he cried out, it was borrowed. The man of God asked, where did it fall? When he showed him the place, Elisha cut a stick and threw it there and made the iron float. Lift it out, he said. Then the man reached out his hand and took it. Now, Priscilla shared this scripture to be an encouragement for us that may have lost our passion. And I want to go back to a sentence that she has said on the very first page of the strategy of your passion. It says, fervent prayer is fueled by passion. Remember, our passion is our fire, our want to. And the only way for you to get into praying is to do it. And that's through your passion. And that's what this chapter was about. Is finding our passion and getting back into it. And so if you don't have the passion, you don't have the want to, this scripture is to encourage us. And so I want to go over it real quick. So the first point she said was, despite the lost axe head, the presence of God was still near. Elijah, being a prophet, was kind of the messenger of God, the nearness of God to these people when they talked to him. He spoke of what God wanted them to do, and they really looked up to him as a role model. And so if you notice here, they even invited him to go. And so that is the example of how near God is to us. God is omnipresent. He is with us all the time. When we sin, when we don't, when we do good, he is there all the time. And so I want you to keep in mind that this story reminds us that even in our deep, darkest times, he is near. Okay, that's important because the enemy wants us to think he's not near. He wants us to think, oh, he won't forgive that. He won't restore it. And that is all lies. Okay, remember at the beginning, we talked about how he's an accuser. He's a liar. He's a thief. He came to destroy, right? And so number 2 in this story, she wants us to know that the servant was doing something good when he lost his cutting edge. Now, she wants us to think of this axe head as your passion, right? He needed the axe head to cut the wood to make them a new place. We have to have passion, the cutting edge in our prayer, the desire to want to do it more, to be on fire, to trust the Lord and to talk to him daily and communicate with him. And so this is an example of you don't have to be doing bad things to lose your passion. You can be doing good things, just like this young man was. He was helping get wood to build a place for them to live. So I need you to wake up. We all need to wake up. In Ephesians, remember it said, be alert. We have to be alert that the enemy is lurking everywhere. And even in the good things that we do, things can happen. Just like he lost his cutting edge. He lost his axe. Sometimes you can get burnt out. I've been burnt out before at church. I've been serving in the children's department when I was growing up, and I just got burnt out. And I almost allowed Satan to make me think I needed to quit. That church was just too much for me. And that was, again, lies. I just needed a break. I needed a change. So that's number 2. Number 3, the axe was borrowed. Now let's think about this axe. This axe is the example of the cutting edge or passion in our life. Okay? We have to have Jesus in us to help us with this desire and this passion. Okay? So to know that it is borrowed means that we just ask him to bring it back to us. Okay? He will if you ask him. He was worried. In the story, the young man was worried, right? He was worried because he borrowed it and he didn't want to disappoint the person that he lost it. But what did he do? He went to Elijah for help, which is what we should do. Go to God for help. Ask him to bring it back. He knows that there are days that we don't feel fired up and we don't feel close to him. But if we ask him, he will bring that cutting edge, that passion back. And then last, number 4, only a work of God could retrieve this axe head, this cutting edge. Notice that Elisha, remember, he's like the example of God with him. Elisha just throws a stick, something that seemed impossible, but was possible, and made the iron float and lift out. Y'all, it is that simple with God, okay? God can do anything, and sometimes it may not be what we think. Sometimes the desires we have are not his, but I promise you, with him, all things are possible. And he can help you recover your cutting edge, your passion in prayer. Because remember, what did it say in the beginning? It said our prayer is fueled by passion. Just like if you're a passionate fan for cheering, you're going to go to those games. You're going to wear all your gear. You're going to cheer. You're passionate about your children and supporting them. You go Mama Bear. Y'all, let's get our passion, our cutting edge back. And let's use this scripture to encourage us that God is near. If we feel like we've lost it, we just ask him to help us bring it back because he is with us. I hope that helps everybody. Have a great night.